Oh my god, where do I even begin with this game? I have over 140 hours logged into it, and I still have no idea what the is going on. Alright, well, I was making a point. I really do know what the story is about, but I'm just saying. The story is about as penetrable as a celibate brick wall, and, Metal Gear has always been kind of like that from my understanding, and it's very, very hard to get into for new players, which, if you haven't gathered yet, I'm a new player. So, after the hour-long, almost gruelingly long intro mission, the story starts to pick up some. So if you can last out the intro, which I highly recommend you do because you'd be missing out on one of 2015's best games. As I mentioned before, I've got 140 hours logged into the game, and if you're going by a $1 1 hour rule, then you would get over twice your money's worth from this game. For those of you who haven't played it, the intro goes a little something along these lines. Why am I just laying in this hospital bed? Why did that lady just garrot that other lady? How and why did the nice doctor man not notice the garret lady garroting the other lady? Why is this lady now garroting the nice doctor man? Why did we set Garret Lady on fire and send her flying out the window? Why is there a floating boy, antagonizing me? Why is there a man on fire just trying to kill me? Pretty much sums the intro up. It raises a lot of questions. Some questions are answered, others aren't. Like, the one that isn't answered is, the flaming whale. Which is just there for thematic purposes, as it's there to relate Big Boss to Ahab from Moby Dick. As I mentioned before, some of the questions have better answers than others. Of course, I'm talking about Quiet, if you hadn't gathered that already. Yeah, if you're unaware of the half-naked boob lady running around with you during the game, and the mild controversy surrounding her, then 1, get out from under your rock once in a while, and 2, go play the game. Look, while I admit the character is actually pretty well fleshed out by the end of the story, pun intended by the way, the explanation that Hideo Kojima told us would have us ashamed of our words and deeds is fairly weak, it's flimsy. It's basically just an excuse to shove Stephanie Juson's tits in our faces every moment, which, while nice, makes me as a gamer feel kind of uncomfortable, like I'm perpetuating the stereotype that all of us are sad loners who wank off the pictures of Samus Aran's ass. Yes, her character is taken slightly out of context from the story. The quote-unquote romance between Venom Snake and Quiet is actually pretty touching if viewed from the right perspective. Okay, here's a mild spoiler warning. It's been months since the game's come out, so if you're still watching by now, odds are you've either played it or somehow you stumbled on this video while you were, I don't know, looking for FAP material. Anyway, I'm about to spoil something in the game. Quiet is that Garret lady who showed up to kill you at the beginning of the, during the intro, basically, which is kind of interesting because to have a character try and kill you twice and then end up falling in love with you anyway is actually rather unique, and I kind of like it. Props to Hideo Kojima for writing that, but he could have put some clothes on her just to make the rest of us not uncomfortable to play it in company. During the intro, you set her on fire, she falls out a window, burning. The main baddies, Cypher, show up. They experiment or turn her into an autotroph, which is, if you don't know what that is, an autotroph is something that makes its own food, so she's like a photosynthetic human, basically, which is, really weird. And the excuse, like I said, that Hideo Kojima told us would have us ashamed of ourselves, she needs to absorb sunlight through her skin, and then, absorb nutrients and water through her skin, so that's why she doesn't wear any clothes. And also, oh yeah, she can't breathe with clothes on. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's a very flimsy excuse just to show us your model character's tits, which, okay, that's nice. Just one of these days I might show my tits on camera, you don't know. Yeah, you encounter her again around story mission 11, like I said, and after defeating her, you were either given the option to shoot her or take her back to your base. Unless you're incredibly thick and aren't allowed outside the house without adult supervision, you're supposed to choose the second option. Like I said, to have a character try and kill Big Boss twice, only end up falling in love with him anyway, without even uttering a word, is actually really unique, and I like it. She's constantly unable to communicate her feelings due to some plot point that I will not spoil in my life because it's actually great in her character development, and it comes on very late in the game. The undertone of romance is so well done that when, spoiler alert, Quiet leaves in Mission 45, after expressing her feelings to you through basically a tape recording, it feels like Hideo Kojima punched into your chest and ripped out your still beating heart personally. Okay, despite the weak Despite the weak explanation for Quiet in her Despite the weak explanation for her bikini-wearing glory, I actually quite like Quiet as a character. Wow, that was a very alliteration-filled
I quite like Quiet.
I quite like Quiet as a character. Speaking of characters, for sakes, I said for sakes, didn't I?
Yep.
For sakes, what's with all the snakes?
You do it again.
For sake, what's with all the snakes? Holy Hideo Kojima, it's like you're deliberately trying to confuse me for and giggles. Shiggles as I usually call them. But seriously, there are like 9 different snakes. Okay, there's Venom Snake, who you play as in this game. Naked Snake, Punish Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Gaseous Snake, Plasma Snake. Oh, wait, I'm reading from my physics textbook. No, but really, who the is who? What makes them different from all the others? Oh, okay. So, Venom Snake is Big Boss, who is Punish Snake, who is formerly known as Naked Snake. During the Operation Snake, you know what? Okay, you get the point. It's confusing as hell. Anyway, the story is pretty damn long, at least the first chapter, which consists of 32 story missions, which took me a long ass time because, you know, I was taking my time with the game. I was going through side missions, just doing the side ops, which are a lot of fun, by the way. Basically, a side op is where they give you an objective in a general area, and you go in, like, rescue an operative, extract some tanks, blow up some dudes, you know, anything. The side ops are really fun, and it's really the meat of this game, as with any side missions in any open world game. Oh, by the way, Metal Gear Solid's actually an open world game now, which is interesting. I love open world games, so when it went to that genre, I sort of leapt on it, because 1, I heard it was a good game, 2, I just love exploring. So there are 2 main areas, one of them is Afghanistan, the other is in Africa. I feel like it's a necessity to mention how well optimized this game is. The Fox engine runs so smoothly, it's at 60 FPS all the time, except when I'm recording with Fraps, because Fraps sucks. Shadowplay doesn't work with MGS5 due to some bug. The Fox engine and the Red engine, I think it is, that the Witcher 3 runs on, both Metal Gear Solid 5 and The Witcher 3 have great game engines. They run so well, so smoothly. Both of those are games you should definitely pick up if you haven't already. This game is so addicting, it's pretty much criminal. I wouldn't have played 144 hours of it if it wasn't. Every single mission has these pulse-pounding stealth sections that really have to make you think tactically. Say, oh, do I shoot this guy? Do I trank him? Do I go up behind him and choke him out and try and interrogate him? You have to really think about it, because sometimes you'll miss somebody while scanning through the area with your spyglass and identifying and placing markers over them. Sometimes you'll miss somebody, and when you're in the middle of interrogating somebody or hiding a body, you can get an unexpected drop from just a dude who was passing by and saw you hiding his best friend's corpse in the dumpster, which is terrifying. Every mission has one of these pulse-pounding stealth sections, except for Mission 45, which is basically just where you take on the entire Soviet armored division with a rocket launcher and trails of piss following you as you run from cover to cover. Every mission is basically just like, yo, your objective is somewhere in the middle of that fortress. We're not going to tell you exactly where, because it's funny to see you crawl through the mud waving your toned ass in front of the camera. Just get in there, trank some bitches, salting out some dudes, get what you came for, and then run out giggling like nothing happened because you just completed a perfect stealth section and nobody spotted you, leaving that one guy behind who's just like, where did all my friends go? Otherwise known as me in high school. Okay, so the Fulton system is pretty awesome. 1, because it's incidentally hilarious. You can basically extract anything from, like, soldiers to goats to tanks and bears and shit. It's freaking ridiculous. And that's what makes it funny. I can just imagine the conversation between 2 soldiers after one of your mass faultlings. Bro, did you hear about Outpost 14? No, man, what happened? The big boss guy busted in with a naked woman and tranquilized 30 of our dudes and attached them all to some sort of balloons, and then they went up into the sky, and now they're all gone. What are you smoking? Because I want some. Anyway, in conclusion, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a huge bag of fun. You're likely to waste away hours playing it, which is good if you don't have anything else to do. It's pretty much like a hooker. You know, if hookers could project moving images, and then you could play those moving images with some sort of control. Actually, Metal Gear Solid 5 is nothing like a hooker, but it's fun, so buy it. Anyway, in conclusion, Metal Gear's...
Metal Sear Golid.
Metal Sear Golid 5. The Pantom Phain. Ow, shit.
can't wait to see how that turned out.
Yeah. Hey. What are you still doing here? The video's over. Go home. What are you still doing here? Go home. Unless you're already home. Maybe in your underwear. Maybe just about to alt tab and jerk off to some porn. Or, like, you know. Hi, Mom. I'm so glad my parents just saw me make that joke. Well, anyway, if you like this video, click subscribe. I'll put it right on my face because they're probably ashamed of me. Anyway, if you want to watch more videos, click wherever the you want. I don't give a shit. Make the whole screen an annotation.